Crazy, like 5 o'clock crazy, like tomorrow at this time, Broadway on the Rocks, 5 o'clock crazy. That's where we will be getting you ready for Thursday night football and for the final time this football season in preparation for senior day. And kind of sad, the final congregation of football, the final time, 30,000 plus people all together to watch Boise State football. And I think they are going to handle Colorado State with relative ease. So let's get after it. Just point blank, how many times do you want Max Cutforth to throw the football? Call 208-424-9300. Explain why. Show us our work. Show us your work. We're on our YouTube channel right now. So shout out to Blue Ice Vodka, wherever you are in the Valley. Next time you order a vodka, whatever, ask for Blue Ice. They have it everywhere here, and let us know how it is. Mike Prater, you said something yesterday. You said you wanted Max Cutforth to throw the ball 50 times.
Not hyperbole. I meant it.
Like, explain yourself. Prater, that's like a historic number for this program. I know, like a Prater exaggeration. That's got to be what this is.
I'd settle for 40, but let's go high and let's shoot for 50. And it's happened 9 times in Boise State history, 5 times by Brett Rippon. Dinwiddie's on there, Bachmeier's on there, a couple of other names are on there. So it doesn't happen very often. And unfortunately, it doesn't really bode well for success in those 9 times in the history of Boise State football where a quarterback has thrown at least 50 passes. The Broncos are 3-6. And in some of those games, it was a lot of fourth quarter catching up, almost like we saw from Max Cutforth last week at 11 attempts in the last 6 minutes of the game after 5 in the entire first 3 quarters of the game. Yes, it's a historic number. I'm not worried about Boise State beating Colorado State. And frankly, if Boise State loses to Colorado State, I'm not worried about that either. I don't think that they will. I'm with you. I think Boise State crushes Colorado State on Saturday, and they go into Logan with some important stuff on the line, including apparently the possibility of hosting the Mountain West Championship game. We just saw the Mountain West scenario. So there's still plenty to play for. But to me, the bigger picture is the offseason and what do you have in the quarterback room? I need to see Max Cutforth be a pocket passer. Boise State doesn't have a true pocket passer right now. And Max Cutforth is the closest it can be. And this offense is broken. This offense is misused. This offense needs a proven pocket passer because I cannot stand to go to another press conference and watch a frustrated tight end or a wide receiver who's saying we're not getting the ball enough. And that doesn't even include the fans that are frustrated right now. You go into the offseason, you have a sample size of what Max Cutforth can do. And that gives you some barometer because we're not going to get that in spring camp. I'm not going to get that in practice. I'm not going to get that in 5 a.m. dark workouts in the snow in January that Spencer Danielson likes to talk about. Is Max Cutforth a pocket passer or not? I need to know.
50 times, 208-424-9300. Okay, so I get it in theory. You're thinking, okay, we have to 100% see what the hell we have with Max Cutforth, and this opponent, Colorado State, will afford us that opportunity.
Colorado State's defense is decent. It's across the board. It's about in the middle in terms of pass defense. They're pretty decent at it. They're not great. Yeah, I think that there's, this isn't San Diego State, and there are other opportunities there where, Colorado State's pass defense isn't great, but this really doesn't have anything to do with the opponent and everything to do with what Spencer Danielson, Zach Hill, Nate Potter have with the quarterback room starting on January 1st. It's going to be Madsen. It's going to be Cutforth. It's going to be the Jackson Taylor kid. Who else is coming along? I want a transfer portal kid somewhere in there as well.
100% bringing a portal kid.
And the portal kid has to be a pocket passer. And I don't care if he's
with you.
I don't care if he's
ready.
An FCS star. I don't care if he's a Power 4 backup. I need 6'3", 225 pounds with a big arm.
I'm ready for it too, with a big old arm.
And that doesn't necessarily mean he's a great quarterback, but I'm tired of watching this football team not having the passing ability, and it's been really frustrating this year. And 4 losses,
we have to use
7 points.
Game more.
There you go. What did Matt Lauder say earlier today?
We have to use the passing game more.
That's a frustrated tight end who was first team all league last year. And now he doesn't even have 30 catches, and here we are almost on Thanksgiving.
That was him this morning, guys.
Today.
I wasn't there. That wasn't Prater with a leading question. So what did he say again?
We have to use the passing game more.
Thank you. He's a smart guy. He's a senior. He's going to be celebrated on Saturday.
Senior day. Hell yeah, he wants to use the passing game more. I'll tell you this. If this is, I'll play along. But I do disagree. We can't
Why?
you can't have Max Cutforth throwing the ball 50 times.
Are you afraid to lose? Why?
Yes.
Why? Just because you're afraid to lose?
I win the game first and foremost. And I think if you're going to do that and throw the ball, okay, first off, Boise State only wants to run about 70 snaps. Okay, I'll give them 80. So I'm just trying to do the math with your ratio. That means it's like, I mean, this is going to be Mouse Davis, Portland State, 1981 with Neil Lomax. I mean, they're going to throw the ball like that. Sorry for the old school reference, guys. That's just the first thing that popped into my head with that. Like, I don't know if that's the answer, but at the same time, I do like what you're saying. We are going to exhaust Max Cutforth, drop back passer. We're going to give him everything. Every throw we're going to ask him to make, every route we're going to have receivers run. Yeah, Latrell, you're going to have 17 targets. If you're going to throw 50 balls, Matt Lauder, 12, 13 targets.
We have to use the passing
targets
more.
Everywhere. I get where you want Prater, because then you think you have more of a conclusive definition of can this kid play or not. But I just don't understand. They're not going to throw the ball 2 out of 3 snaps.
No, of course not. They're a power running team, but it's not. Even that's not working.
208.
They're screwing that up.
424 9300 guys. Somebody talk some sense into Forrest over here.
I would say that I'm kind of hanging on the fence, which isn't popular in sports radio, but I see both sides of this, because I think what Prater's saying makes a lot of sense from the standpoint of, let's see what this guy's got. Let him spin it. No weather conditions to screw things up, and, get a feel for what kind of quarterback room you have in 2026. Because Prater, it sounds like you're treating these as like preseason games for next season.
I kind of am.
And
I've kind of given up on this year.
And that's where you start to lose me a little bit, because, and maybe this is just the outsider that, my expectations are dumbed down from the rest of the Boise State fan base. I still think if you could call 8-4 and a conference championship, which scenarios be damned, we're not going to get into them. If you can still get to 8-4, play in the conference championship against San Diego State again, perhaps, and avenge that loss even, if that's a bad year.
Then you're in the LA Bowl too.
Yeah. And if that's a bad year, because we know that the LA Bowl tends to take a G5 conference champion that doesn't make the CFP.
Yeah.
If that's a bad year, then that's pretty damn good for your program.
Bronco Nation, what would you say to Greg? You've heard people come into this town and say that. I've said that. You're going to complain about 8-4. Greg would celebrate that at Temple. They'd hang banners for that season.
I'm not saying that 8-4 is to be gushed over, but I just think
pretty
if
good
that's
down
a bad year, then your program is in decent shape.
But you guys are basing, and here's where Prater is 1,000% right, and you guys are 1,000% wrong. And I know that sounded very narcissistic.
Come on. Yeah, here you go. Tell us.
You guys are assuming just because Max Cutforth is going to throw the ball a lot that Boise State's going to lose this game. You just told me, Ballgame, that Boise State's going to crush these guys.
We're not going in with a number of this is what you have.
What's the harm based on what you just said is losing this football game and risk losing the season. There is no risk of losing to Fresno or Colorado State on Saturday.
So
throwing the ball 50 times.
So in other words, they could throw the ball 0 times and they would win.
I'm biased against Colorado State. I hate that program more than most every college football team in America. They've underachieved for more than 50 years. They've got nothing going on. And those football players cannot wait to go home. This Boise State, Boise State can win this game with its eyes closed. Boise State can win this with 75 passes. By the way, the school record is 75. Brett Rippon, 75 in that loss to New Mexico in 2015, 75 pass attempts.
Thomas Spurbeck.
Boise State can throw the ball 75 times or run the ball 75 times and win this game. So I don't think that there's any risk. I'm not trying to risk a loss. I'm counting a perfect loss here, but I'm also trying to fix the quarterback room moving forward.
But this offense has sucked. And so
what do you have to lose? It's
the rest of the season.
No, because you're going to win. And you're going to win this game.
I just think, I understand Colorado State is atrocious. They might be one of the worst FBS teams, one of the 10 worst FBS teams.
They might be now, yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
But this is a Boise State. I know San Diego State and Fresno are good defenses. They still scored 7 points in each of those 2 games. So can they get like 10 points in the first quarter before we start throwing the ball around the field?
No, because you're going to get 10 points in the first quarter by throwing the ball around.
I don't know. I think
what,
that's
what
fair.
Did Matt Lauder tell us? What did Matt Lauder say this morning?
We have to use the passing game more.
Thank you, Matt.
But if you're going to get, then what? Okay, what's it really going to show you about Max Cutforth if you're going to get, if Colorado State is just so bad and you're going to throw the ball over the field? And
it's
score,
better than your scout team. It's a live game.
It's better than practice. It's better than last week.
It's better than a spring game.
I don't know,
it's better than working out in the indoor.
I get that, but when you phrase it as, well, you can kind of do whatever you want, you're going to win this game, then how do you take anything from this game as tangible, observation?
I get what you're saying. Like, this isn't even something you want to watch. They're not that bad with a capital THAT, Greg. They are not from the NAIA.
Why I'm saying, just get yourself a little lead first and then do whatever you want.
Sure. I would subscribe to that right there, too.
I would, because
you want to come out and just air, throw with this kid. I want to have the game secure, or at least a 2 or 3 score lead if I'm going to get tricky and crazy, and not tricky and crazy, but just see what I have out of this quarterback and let him frickin' rip for a game and get comfortable.
You guys,
I get that, but
your scenario is crazy. Let's get the big lead and then start passing.
That's not going to happen. Walk-on quarterback get comfortable.
He got comfortable last week. He got too comfortable because they didn't put him in a position to succeed last week.
Well, I mean,
and so we went into this game hoping we would learn about Max Cutforth last week, and we didn't. We never got the chance because they never gave him the chance. And I'm assuming that Maddox Madsen might be healthy for Logan. And that game might have some serious strain.
So this might be the last time they get a chance to see Cutforth.
Now that's a different part of the equation.
You're getting Max Cutforth one more game. And I don't want to wake up on January 1st and guess what I have with Max Cutforth based on what I've seen in practice.
Like if they just completely put the fence around Cutforth, they're the helicopter parent. They're not going to let him do anything close to out of his comfort zone, and they're just going to get a win against Colorado State, and hopefully Max is 13 for 18, $127, 1 teeter, no picks.
And then I wake up on January 1st. I have no idea what my quarterback
probably
room
what
is.
We'll see. But they only want to run 60 snaps, maybe 70.
Prater, I think
offense.
maybe this is the one thing that could change your mind, and I still don't think it's going to change your mind. First play of the game, Cutforth throws a pick 6. Are you changing any of your down 6-0 right away?
No, Prater's going to double down.
No. You're going to double down.
And coaches would come into and the coaches aren't going to change their game plan on one play. They're scripting their first series. They're scripting their first 20 plays. And even if they do script what Johnny said, and that's more likely, I'm talking to the clouds here. I get it, guys. There's no way in hell Spencer Danielson's going to throw the ball 50 times. I think that's a mistake because they're going to wake up on January 1st and their head's going to be in the sand with what kind of quarterback room they have. They're going to come into Saturday's game with a game plan with 15 plays scripted. And if Max Cutforth throws a pick 6 on play 1, they're going to run play 2.
Well, share your thoughts, guys. I mean, it makes sense in theory. I just don't think they're going to do it. I would like to see Max Cutforth throw the ball in a situation where you have to see him under pressure, making all the throws, getting different looks defensively, yada, yada, yada. I don't know.
Short, medium, long.
All in the tree, all the food groups represented, and you can really say, okay, we think we have something here with further development. Or you can say, all right, he looks like a freaking walk-on. He doesn't have the twitch in his throw. He's not doing things that we need quarterbacks at this level to do. Maybe it's a talent thing. Maybe it's anything else, but we want to be able to have confidence in making that decision. And to have that, we just need to throw him to the wolves type of thing. I don't know. It makes sense, but I don't want to risk losing the game.
I do think, and you said they're not going to do this. Everybody understands us. Everybody's been beating up the coaching staff. I also just don't think that they have the guts to do this. Like, I don't think that they, whether it's 50, 40, they're going to throw the ball more than they threw the ball against San Diego State. But I think that there's probably going to be some, coaching scared a little bit here, coaching not to lose. And that might be enough to win against Colorado State. But maybe that's where I do kind of see where Prater's coming from and wonder if this coaching staff does have the guts to say, you know what, let's throw everything out there and let Cutforth air it out a ton. I just don't think that's in their DNA.
100% agree with that. And I'm writing that column tonight in terms of Spencer Danielson. The first paragraph of my column tonight is Spencer Danielson is afraid of change.
Yeah.
He's afraid of change. And if we go into next year, and you guys right now, if I ask you what the scenario is going to be next year, you both would answer Maddox Madsen is your quarterback. Nate Potter is your offensive coordinator, and you go to Oregon scared as hell. You lose the game, and then we're back to square one, just like we are right now.
Yep. And
Because this coaching staff is afraid to take risks.
On us.
This coaching staff is afraid of change, and this coaching staff needs to get rid of the word roster retention as fast as humanly possible, because I don't care about roster retention anymore. I want change.
You need players.
Maybe that's why they love to tout their roster retention, because it's their way. It's a fancy way of saying we don't want to change things up. So what we'll do instead is say everybody loves the Bronco way, or whatever they say over there. Maybe that's their way of packaging up the fact and presenting it to us that they just don't like change.
I don't know.
They're so good at retaining their own guys.
I do believe Spencer believes in that. I do believe Spencer is serious when he says this is a developmental program, and it's weird, but feels like coaches, they want the high school kid and they want to grow him. They want to develop him. They want it to be organic. They want him to be theirs. Okay. And that's what Spencer Danielson and coaches, I think, want. But fans now don't want that. They want you to go buy good players and quit farting around with this stuff.
And if Max Cutforth stinks on Saturday, and it's a small sample size and it won't be fair to him, that just tells me that you need to go off and get that transfer portal pocket passing quarterback. And maybe you have him already. We just don't know. I can't think of
a bigger buzzkill than us on this show going into next season with them running this thing back.
That's going to happen.
Have better luck. Spencer, the head coach, Potter, the OC, Mad Dog QB1, Cutforth QB2, running out the visiting tunnel in Eugene, Oregon.
Taylor red shirts
in late August, right there.
Bingo.
Yeah, and then
you guys go for it, man. Go. For those of you who don't like 50, go for the status quo, man.
Also, just to say, Prater, I don't think either one of us was endorsing the run it back plan for next year.
I know.
Okay. Yeah.
But the big part of the plan going into January 1st is knowing what you have. And I don't care how much Spencer Danielson and Zach Hill and Nate Potter stand up and say he's really good at practice. He's really good in the meeting rooms. He's really good in the weight room. He's one of our guys.
That's turning into a pet peeve.
I'm sick and tired of hearing
that's
from that.
That's turning into a pet peeve of me too. And then the one thing that's turned into a pet peeve for me, actually, we'll talk about this on the other side of the break. 208-424-9300. Taco Bell Hotline. We saw you guys calling last segment. We're just not taking calls this segment, but we will be this next segment. Call back. We'll get you on 208-424-9300. KTIK, the ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studio, this is Ticket Traffic.
Rivalries collide in Boise. Holiday Hoops Classic is here. 4 college teams battling for glory. 2 games per day, November 26th and 28th at Idaho Central Arena. Get your tickets today. Still pretty heavy and slow on the outbound connector Curtis through the Flying Y. Good news is that they cleaned up that accident just past the Franklin exit. Westbound I-84 very slow from Orchard through the merge. Busy from the Y all the way out through the Garrity interchange. Eastbound Highway 44 apparently closed between Blessinger and Canada Road. Got utility work going on there. Part of a job scheduled to go on to the first part of next year.
This report is sponsored by Supersure.
Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure. Not kind of sure, not pretty sure, not a little sure, but super sure. It's so exciting. Super sure, coming soon.
With Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to 40% off, plus up to an extra $1,000 off select innovative appliances like GE Profile. Add a touch of ease to your holiday with the all-in-one combo to wash and dry your laundry in one machine. And refrigerators with built-in convenient features like the dual dispense autofill water pitcher. Shop Black Friday savings on select GE Profile appliances, plus get free delivery now at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer about 11/5 through 12/3. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
It's starting to get chilly at night. You know what that means. It's golf simulator weather. So call Sin Law in Idaho and play on the same turf as the pros in the TGL presented by SoFi League, but in your own home. 208-963-5858 or visit sinlawnidaho.com/golf. Call now and get a free swing lesson from Golf Tech Boise. That's 208-963-5858 or synlawnidaho.com/golf.
A home is broken into every 26 seconds. You need equipment and a contractor qualified to protect your property. Crane Alarm Service is Idaho's oldest and largest privately owned security contractor and serves the Treasure Valley and the 6 states surrounding Idaho. Crane uses the highest quality security products, and equipment and labor come with a warranty. Crane protects 14 school districts, 3 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homes and businesses. For a free estimate, call Idaho's quality security contractor, Crane Alarm Service.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Thanks for rounding up at McDonald's. Your change changes lives at Ronald McDonald House Charities.
Keep your eye on the ball, or in your case, on the road when you listen to Prater in the ball game. Who knows? They may just hit it out of the park.
Hey, if you want to win tickets to the Idaho Snowmobile Show, that's Friday. We're there, Fort Idaho Center Sports Center. We're there every year. We'll be there again. We'll have cool stuff. So tomorrow, Broadway on the Rocks. Friday, the Snowmobile Show. But if you're planning on going, and how about not paying for tickets? They charge you at the gate. We'll hook you up with tickets if you go to ktik.com right now and enter to win tickets to the Idaho Snowmobile Show. That's on our website. You can go right there if you guys are going to go. Let us help you out a little bit. 208-424-9300. You talked about it, and just when we went to the break, what's frustrating me on this thing is, and I like it when the coaches take the fall for the players, but not when they just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And it drives me crazy when I hear an assistant coach, I got to do better. I messed that up. Yeah, I got to be better. It's on me. It's on me. They should print out shirts in that building and every coach should wear it. It's on me. I messed up. It's on me. It's like, well, we'll get that cleaned up. That's the other thing. We'll clean that up. Well, dude, you're going to clean it up 4 days after it costed you a game. Like, it should have already been cleaned. Like, that's what's frustrating me here. 208-424-9300 for you guys, just moving into this season. And if they do, in fact, run it back going into Eugene, I love what, Spencer is a guy and what he's doing and his passion. I love it, but I would feel bad. I would feel worried for him if he's running this back and going to go into Eugene next year, expecting just a better result. Like the team will be better next year. I'm looking at this team right now, and I don't think they'll be better next year with the pieces they're losing. And if you have a coach who won't pay freshmen to come in, so you're losing the top freshmen, but then you want to build your program on freshmen, but you're not going to pay them. I think there's a catch-22 there. It feels like the fans want guys from the portal right now, and this coaching staff wants high school kids so they can develop them, Prater.
Well, yeah, and Boise State will always be that way, but that doesn't mean out of 108 players, you can't go off and find, 6 bonus babies or transfer portal kids. I'm looking for just a couple. I'm looking for a couple here and there. And you're right. If the change doesn't happen in the offseason, and for me, change needs to start happening on this Saturday, where we've reached rock bottom, and rock bottom for Boise State's 6-4, and a lot of angst with no real quarterback future in terms of promising and optimism. So that's why I'm pushing it, because I need to be extreme, because Spencer Danielson's not going to change. And I'm with you mostly on that's on the coaches. That's on the coaches. I'm sick and tired of hearing that this year. But you also have to think of the flip side. First of all, he's not going to throw a player under the bus. I think anybody wants a coach to throw a player under the bus.
Okay.
And with so many stinking problems with this football team, and every single press conference that we've gone into after 4 losses, you expect certain answers in terms of honesty. Coach, you've got a problem. Let's talk about it. So at least they're admitting that there's a problem. And most coaches would say, "Oh, we're working on that. We're working on that." So I get when you say the coaches blaming themselves is bothersome, but I don't know what else they're supposed to say. Hide from the fact that we're asking negative questions, or throw the players under the bus.
Yeah.
That's the only 2 other options.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, you'd rather your coach be accountable and be the frontward-facing person in the program by saying it's on me than by saying, no, actually, I'm going to point my finger at the quarterback or at the refs or whoever else. So when you lose a game, to some extent, you can't hide from it one way or another.
Okay. And it even drives me more crazy when coaches do hide from it, and plenty do.
Okay. Well, if there's a coach that's going to say it 4 or 5 times, I would hope that, okay, if it's on you that much, then, okay, it's not going to be on you anymore, because we're not going to give you the opportunity for it to be on you.
100% agree.
I think Spencer Danielson's going to have a hard time moving on from certain coaches. This is Avalos' staff, essentially. I mean, hell, even Zach Hill is a harsh guy, and he was here before. Like, it's an odd mix of basically they kicked out Andy and they just kept the entire band except the lead singer, and then here they go, and they took the crown jewel of what the program had at the time. His name was Ashton Genty. He was the most important piece in that building, the most important piece maybe in this city last year. And they were able to not mess that up and get it all the way to the CFP. And now here they are. They got, a roster more similar to before Genty got here. And man, 6-4, like you said, Prater, 6-4 is rock bottom in this town, guys.
The other thing that, just to go back to a point that I think we're all kind of making, is the afraid of change thing. I think in pro sports and college sports, some of the biggest loser mentality is being afraid of change and just saying, well, we're content with what we got. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. The best people who run pro teams or college teams are willing to dive all the way into the deep end and see where it takes them, because they're going to be confident in themselves to figure out the new circumstances as they change. It is also, I think that it kind of gets painted as like a black and white thing of roster retention development program versus transfer portal. As Prater said, you got 108 spots. Why can't you do a little bit of both? Why? And frankly,
you do.
That's what helps feed your change.
Leon Rice gave $1 million to 3 new players this year. Didn't worry about the players already on his roster.
Saying that's a good thing.
1,000%.
Yes, right. And I think that one of the things that helps you start to make change is to do it in baby steps and to spoon feed your staff into, okay, we're going to try it with a quarterback, or we're going to try it with an edge defender and a safety to replace Benefield if he leaves, or whatever. You try bits and pieces of it. You have one success story, and then you say, okay, we can try a little bit more of it. And sooner or later, 2 or 3 years down the line, you're not afraid of the transfer portal.
That's why Max Cutforth needs to throw the ball 50 times. That's why we all need to listen to Matt Lauder.
We have to use the passing game more.
It just has to happen, guys, because if you're going to make those decisions you just talked about, you have to know what you have. And right now, I don't think Boise State, and I don't think they'd admit it, but I don't think Boise State really, really knows what it has in the quarterback room right now, other than Maddox Madsen. And I think we've seen Maddox Madsen hit his ceiling. And maybe that's good enough on certain teams. It's not good enough this year, and it might not be good enough next year. But outside of Maddox Madsen, I don't know if you have any idea what you have in that quarterback room, and you cannot make intelligent decisions about the quarterback room until you know what you have.
I'm trying to think of what just kind of what the point spread would be in Eugene. If it stays the status quo. I mean, that could get ugly.
That's a good question. So it was
really
what was the Notre Dame number this year?
Was it because
16.5?
Okay.
I would think depending, because we know Oregon, they're not afraid to shake things up, right?
No, and
they
Oregon,
have a good offseason. You could see a 3-touchdown number.
I could, man.
Yeah.
And this is, I agree with you, Prater. This is a huge opportunity for them to see exactly what they have in Cutforth. And we want a drop back passer, drop back, sitting in shotgun,
Throwing
getting the
50
ball,
times.
a couple of reads,
Throwing 50
sees
times.
the field clearly, has receivers who communicate well with them, run sharp routes, and they do what this program has done for a long ass time. And that's throw the ball very, very well. Let's hop on some soapboxes. We got Banbury Golf Course to talk about. It's KTIK The Ticket.
This is Idaho Sports Talk with Prater and the Ballgame, brought to you by BroPaint.com. For over 24